Hello, LP Brown artists. I hope you had a wonderful winter break. Welcome back. So, this week we are learning about the artist Kelly Pousette, and she creates 3D artwork using paper. And she calls them paper cuts, but that just makes me cringe because I think of getting paper cuts. So, uh, I won't be using that term. But she creates these incredible pieces of artwork. You can see some examples here. I also included a video about her in your art folder. It's about 6 or 7 minutes long, so I'm not including it in this video, but you can go ahead and go back in the folder and watch that if you'd like to. So the way she creates this is she creates a diorama, which is a 3D piece of artwork where you create a background. So that's the back of your art. And then it comes forward and you glue pieces in the front and create your own scene. So we are going to create our own background today, the very back. The foreground where we can add some plants. You can create whatever scene you want. And then the middle ground is what's happening kind of in the middle right there. So we have foreground, middle ground, and background. Today is a piece of white paper, something to draw with, definitely scissors, and then some bits of paper that are colorful, anything that you might want to use in your diorama. You can see she uses some other materials here, I think, or that might just be paper. You could use natural materials, whatever you would like. So go ahead, pause the video, get your supplies. You can also go back in the art folder and watch that video to get inspired by Kelly Poussette's artwork. All right, before we get started, exciting news for Jade in Miss Bowman's class. Jade, you are the winner of this week's prize drawing, so you'll be getting some special art supplies to take home. So congratulations, Jade. Woohoo! All right, back to our art lesson. We are going to begin with just a regular piece of paper, and we're going to fold it into fourths. So, lining up the edges, I'm going to fold it one way, like that. Then open it up and fold it the other way. So then, when I have it opened up, I have 4 rectangles. So make sure you have 4 rectangles. I'm going to cut on this line, and I'll draw over it so you can see. I'm going to go cut, 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 stop at the middle line. So cut, 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 and stop at the middle line. Next, we're going to trim the bottom 2 corners here and round them out. So cutting the point there so it's rounded, and then the other bottom edge rounded. Ta-da! All right, now using colored pencils, crayons, whatever, you are going to draw your background. Your background is just going to be this top rectangle. So you're not doing anything with the bottom half, just drawing a background on the top. I'm going to draw a winter forest scene inspired by Kelly Pousette, but you draw whatever scene you want. It could be real, fictional, fantasy, space, your favorite movie, your favorite book, literally whatever. So I'm going to do a time lapse drawing my background. Pause the video and you may draw your background too. Remember, do not go beyond this middle line. This is the foreground. This is the background. My background is done. I'm creating a snowy scene, so I left a lot of white here, like on the ground. This is going to be the foreground and middle ground. I'm leaving it white since it will be snowy, but if you're wanting to create a different type of scene, maybe water, you could draw some water here, or grass, you can go ahead and do that. Next, we are going to assemble. Ignore the machinery in the background. So you're going to pick one side and get some glue. And I'm going to do about half of this flap in glue. So just this section. And again, this is where I cut. Next, you're going to fold it like that. So folding, and it just fits together like this. You can see, I'll press it down, and then you can kind of shape it so it goes correctly. So there's my little background diorama, and then in the front here, I'm going to fold these curved edges up and create what looks kind of like snow drifts, snow piled up in the front. So it really looks like a piece of 3D art. So again, we have the foreground here, we have some snow, and I can add details to it. The middle ground is farther back, and then we just created our background. So I'm going to set that aside. I have it all ready to go, and I can look at it for inspiration and look at it to see what size I want my creations to be. Next, it's time to fill the diorama with paper cuts, cutouts. So think of what you want to draw. This might take a really long time. Like even just creating the background could be a whole lesson in art. So you could be spending a couple weeks on this art project if you want. I'm doing the sped up version for my video. I'm going to create a winter scene like Kelly Pousette, but again, you draw what you want. So I'll get my pieces of paper. First, I'm going to draw my shapes, then cut them out. Once you've drawn a variety of shapes, plants, animals, whatever you're creating, I did a bush, a couple trees, a plant, some animals. I don't know what this is. I think I was trying to do a deer, but it's some sort of woodland creature. Next, you're going to cut them out, and then we'll get to attach them to our diorama. It's time to attach them to our diorama. So I'm going to start with the middle ground. So I'm going to start in the back. And the way you attach these is you take your picture, your cutout, and fold a little bit there so it gets a little stand. You're going to put glue on that bottom part. So you just fold it down a bit, glue it, and then press it down. Now some of them might be a little floppy, like the tree, but once it's all put together, it will work out. And once you glue your pieces into your scene, you might want to add more or add some different things. So just keep adding to it and see what you think. And here is my partially finished diorama. Keep switching between diorama and diorama. It doesn't matter either way. So you can add more or less, some details. Maybe you want to add some natural materials or recycled materials. I can't wait to see what you do with this project.